I love eagles. Eagles are so beautiful, inspiring, and amazing. When my husband wanted to buy this big ranch, it was millions of dollars, and we are not rich people, okay? And I'm like, what? We're 65, and he's 65, and we're buying this big ranch. It's thousands of dollars every month, and I don't know what. So I'm like, Lord, let me know if this is what you want us to do or not, because I'm like, what? I didn't think they'd give you a 30-year mortgage when you're 65, because the odds of you paying it off are a little slim, you know? The bank said, oh, yeah. I'm like, really? Okay. So I'm walking down the driveway of our ranch before we bought it. I'm like, Lord, let me know so that I'm at peace here. What does he do? Sends a bald eagle flying eye level to me along the Colorado River, looking at me while he's soaring. Like, hello, you got this? God says he's got the ball. I'm like, okay, $5,000 mortgage every month. All right. And he said, I will make sure you have that kind of money every month. Might be the last minute, but it'll be there. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing because we can't cover the first month. We've been there 18 years. But the eagles, they live at our ranch. We have a nest of golden eagles up on the cliff now. We call him Gordon. And he came within 5 feet of my husband last year. Gordon was sitting in the field and he was watching this rodent that the dog had gotten. My husband goes over and picks up the rodent and tosses it toward Gordon. Gordon flies toward my husband as my husband throws the rodent. It's not a prairie dog, but it's bigger than a mouse. It's a thing. Anyway, Gordon's flying, catches the rodent in the air, flies right over my cowboy's head, and I was like, took my breath. Their wings are over 12 feet. And there's no sound as they go over your head with the dead rodent over.
I want to know what the cowboy said.
I think he was probably doing the same thing I was, like, it was just one of those amazing magical moments, It's like, how often do you get to feed a golden eagle? But the bald eagles they have a nest at the ranch next door, the Colorado River Ranch, but they come and fish on the river. The river wraps around our ranch. And, they can soar for 4 and 5 miles without flapping once, just floating on. Yeah. When I'm stressed and I'm like working, I'm flapping like a duck. You know how the little ducks, their wings got to go because their body's so heavy and they're flapping, flapping, flapping. And I'm like, okay, I want to do that. And in the Bible, my favorite verse is in Isaiah, and it says in there, those who wait upon the Lord. Okay, now you can wait or you can serve like a waiter, a waitress. I think it's the serving part that it's meant there. I try to serve the best I can. So those who wait upon the Lord will soar on wings like eagles, effortless. They will run and not grow weary. I can hardly walk and not get weary. I'm up for the running part. They will walk and not faint, which means he's going to give us the strength and the endurance, everything that we need to do it effortlessly. And I'm like, I like that. I'm signing up. I will wait upon the Lord. So the eagles, there's 32 references to the eagle in the Bible. Because, Solomon's one of the most brilliant men that ever lived. He had 2,000 wives. Any man who can keep 2,000 women happy is brilliant. Okay? So Solomon said, one of the things that I would love to be able to understand is the way of the eagle in the air. I mean, even though he was like so brilliant, he didn't get it. How did they do all that? And they found there's these thermals. They're shaped kind of like a donut. We can't see them, but they're like heat waves or some kind of deal. I'm really technical on that. Ask Roland. His brain works very different from mine. All right. So there's these heat wave donut things, thermals, and eagles can see them, and they just go from one to another and sit on the thermals that we can't see. They're the only animal, creature, living being that can look directly at the sun and not burn their eyeballs up. So two predators of an eagle, condors, because they hunt in packs, big, ugly, like turkey vulture things, and man, because sometimes we do stupid stuff. When an eagle is being chased by a pack of condors, they look directly at the sun and they just soar right at the sun. Well, the condors are going, can you see him? No, man, I lost him. I think he's to the left. No, I think he's to the right. I'm going home. Never mind. And they can soar above a storm. So there's lightning and crashing and thunder and rain, and they're like, I got this. They're amazing. They can soar at over 100 miles an hour. When they dive, over 100 miles an hour. And there's no sound. When Gordon soars, there's no sound. When he comes and he eats in our field a lot, because we have a lot of those rodents, and they must be delicious. But he's like, and he'll come. You don't even hear him or see him. Just all of a sudden, he's there. And he just sits there. You're like, what are you doing, Gordon? Like, hey, I'm getting my lunch. I'm like, well, I don't see anything. I got this. I know what I'm doing. Okay. And I just wait. About a minute later, he takes off. He has a rodent. He just like landed, got it, waited until it was done wiggling, takes it home, feeds it to little Junior. So you would think the king of the air, when he's courting, would be like, hey, check it out. Am I gorgeous? Or look at the wings. Look at the, oh, look at, no, not it. You know what they do when they're courting? He does this. And she goes, whoa, baby, woo. Serious, waddles, you know. And then they fly to the top of the sky together. And at the top of the sky, he has these talons, okay, it's claws. They're like razor blades sharp. He can rip through leather with those to get to the meat under there. So at the top of the sky, he takes his talons and he gets a hold of her feet. So gently and so carefully, he causes no harm. And then at the top of the sky, and they have been seen at over 15,000 feet, because there was a Delta pilot had a salmon dropped on his windshield. A lot of times salmon are not that high. And he looked at his altimeter, it's 15,000 feet, and he goes, what is up with that fish? Didn't read any of the rules. And he saw an eagle had just dropped his lunch. Like, whoa, plane. Oh man, my good salmon. You know, so 15,000 feet, you know what? We have to have an oxygen mask at 15,000 feet. We have to have a pressurized chamber, or we like blow up or something. Implode, I don't know what we do, like your drinking water bottle does on the plane. You know how it does in your hairspray and stuff. Yeah, not eagles, they got a little layer of feathers. It's 60 below zero when you get up above 10,000 feet in most areas. 60 below zero. Little layer of feathers, very special feathers. So, the two of them fly to the top of the sky. He gets a hold of her feet, holds them so carefully he's not causing any harm, wraps his big wings around her. They're not flying, okay? They're tumbling from the top of the sky to the top of the trees. We're talking an exciting adventure here. Okay, we're talking Disneyland knows no excitement compared to what eagles do when they're courting. Then, right when they get to the top of the trees, he lets go. They fly right straight back up to the top of the sky. She takes her talons so carefully she causes no harm. She wraps her wings around him, and once again they free fall, tumbling to the top of the trees. She lets go. They fly right straight back up. They mate, and they stay together for life. It's a relationship based on trust. Based on trust. Trust is the foundation for love. Respect is the foundation for trust. We start with the respect, we get to the trust, we get to the love. Our children have been dropped. They've been dropped. And we're saying, you can trust me. And they're like, oh, no. I've been dropped. I'm not doing that. They're too afraid until they test you. Test. What if I talk in the car? What if I kick? What if I put my shoe up on the chair next to me? What if I talk in class? And are we going to pass that test? How many of you want to get an A+ on your test? Raise your hand. Yeah, raise it higher. Yeah, me too. So at camp, you want to get an A+, you say, flight check. That's all. And you don't say, flight check. You say, flight check, which is like, I passing the test. I'm getting an A+ on my agenda today. Flight check. And your child will go with the team who's trained to help them to learn how to soar to the heights of greatness. It's every one of these children, every single one of them were born for greatness. How do I know that? I have a vision of the future. I have, what was it? I think you wanted to be able to read people's minds or read their, yeah, it's like, I wish. But how do I know all of these children? Because where did they come from? Great parents? Not so much. But God picked you. Why did he go to the trouble to pick you? For this child? I've been in orphanages around the world. I've worked in India, I've worked in China, I've worked in Russia, Romania, India. There's millions that never get a home. More or less parents who love so much they're going to give up their week of life to come to camp, pay all that money to come to camp. What kind of parents are those? Awesome. Outstanding, way above the rest of the parents out there who are watching TV. I'm sick of you. Shut up. Go eat a donut. You know, they're not with the healthy food, and I've got special oils for you. And they're not doing. I read about this, and there's an exercise. I'm coming to camp because I heard you've got some answers. Do we? Yes. Thousands of children have found the answers at camp and opened their hearts and moved their lives forward. The only big problem is the parents get stuck up bragging about their children all the time, and other parents get sick of hearing about how great their kid is. But it's one of the difficulties we have to endure as a parent who has healed from rat, a child who's healed from rat. So our eagles, there's not a lot of animals that mate for life, but eagles are one. They mate for life. That relationship based on trust lasts their whole life, and they live to be like 80 years old. Some of the eagles that are in captivity because they've been injured and they can't fly, take care of themselves. Their mate comes every year and checks on them and touches base and, hey, you all right? How are things going? They never forget them. They have that relationship, solid foundation based on trust. So, our eagles, we're going to talk about eagles a little bit every day because when I go to camp, people say, what are you doing this week? I don't say I'm going to camp. I say I'm going to be with eagles this week. Because the parents are eagles. And their little baby eaglets were born to be eagles, to soar to the heights of greatness, learning from these great parents. The team members are beyond any shadow of a doubt eagles. They have this huge heart that says, oh, there's a bunch of strange parents I don't know who need help. I'm going to go give up a week of my life, pay my way to get there, eat whatever weird food they feed me at camp, and sleep uncomfortably to help these strangers. What kind of nonsense is that? You guys nuts?
A little bit. Yeah.
I guess. I'm glad, because I'm nuts too. It's my favorite thing to do in the world, besides being with my cowboy. Second favorite thing to do in the world is go to camp. I love watching the children start to heal. I love starting them see their parents for who they are. I love the parents getting their laughter back, finding their smile again. From the hopeless feeling they have when they arrive at camp to the way they're loading up, laughing and talking together on the way home. I love it.